Hey guys, welcome back to the biggest agricultural platform in Namibia known as Nduna Wengombe, which means headman of cattle. My name, of course, Mitchell Mutumba Simata, aka the headman of cattle. I want to speak about mushroom farming. Somebody has been asking me to do a video on mushroom farming. I don't find it interesting, but I had to because I've been delaying. So I felt I should do this video. He's been asking for a minute. So let's get into this. How to start farming mushrooms, 6 easy steps. Mushroom farming is not just medicinal mushrooms to cultivate. Mrs. Kruger, owner and director of Charmaine Mushroom in Heidelberg, Gauteng. Pick a mushroom cultivar, mainly white button and brown mushrooms, are grown in South Africa. But there are also a variety of exotic mushrooms cultivated to consider, such as the shiitake and oyster mushroom, which will have more a niche market to enter. Less than 5% of South Africa's mushroom market is taken up by these exotic mushrooms. You have to decide what's your target market and who you will sell your mushrooms to before you start. If you want to remain small scale, the oyster mushrooms are a better bet. Exotic mushrooms seem easy and less complicated to grow, but don't think they are any easy to farm than the button mushroom. The correct compass as a growing medium. Composition. The growing cycle of mushrooms start with the compass. It is therefore important to ensure that this has the right ingredients and is treated optimally from the beginning. Preparation of your compass and to get a perfect end result with good quality raw material are a challenge. Compass is the heart of your business. If the composition isn't correct, it can affect your crop and your yield. You can't ignore it. The compass is the first thing you have to get correct. Then you have to get correct when farming with mushrooms. All mushroom farmers in South Africa have their own compass yard and growing facilities. Unlike other countries where specialized companies prepare mushroom compass, according to Lichen Group, the basic component of mushroom compass are water, wheat, boiler chicken litter, and gypsum. This mixture of raw ingredients need to fermentate for 3 weeks, being opened and aired daily. Compass development. After the compass has fermented, it has to be moved to a closed room to undergo 3 development stages. Phase 1 includes wetting and mixing the compass mixture. It then gets formed into a long narrow stack. The stack has to mechanically turned with the compass turner and watered. This phase allows microorganisms to grow and reproduce within the compass. To raise the nitrogen to be turned to ammonia. Phase 2 needs to be carried out under careful and controlled conditions. In specialized design tunnels with arid floors. In this phase, the compass undergoes a pasteurization to free the compass undesirable weeds, microbes, and pests. In the third phase, the amino and nitrogen content is converted to protein to act as a growth medium for the mushrooms. There is more to farming with mushrooms. The 1 or 2 or 3 factors to consider. Spawning. You can buy the spawn of your chosen mushroom cultivar from a supplier and mix it into the compass you have made. The spawned compass is filled into the final incubator or spawn running. This part of the process takes place in a purpose-built tunnel, spawn running rooms, or in the growing room. If you haven't noticed by now, farming with mushrooms can be a bit tricky. Spawning rooms or their own must be well insulated and equipped with systems that maintain temperatures and humidity levels. The air that enters the room must be filtered to eliminate dust, bacteria, and fungal spores that may cause damage. When the spawn grows, threads of the mycelium are spread through the compost while completely covered. Growing a mushroom after a bag of compost is fully colonized with the mycelium. A casing layer is added. This layer can be made from many different materials and is necessary to provide the moisture of the mushroom. Most mushroom growers use peat moss, but it has to be imported to South Africa, meaning it is expensive. Peat moss to a cheaper, it's very expensive importing cheap peat moss than finding a cheaper one. A local alternative made from products of sugarcane processing. After the mycelium has grown to its full extent within the casting, the doors of the growing room can be opened. The change in the temperature and air composition signals the mycelium to start growing its fruiting body that we know and love as mushrooms. Harvesting. Another reason why mushroom farming is expensive. Another reason why mushroom farming is difficult and expensive at small scale in South Africa is because the mushrooms are picked by hand. That makes mushroom farming a hugely labor-intensive exercise, employing many people in the areas around the farm. A mushroom doubles in size every 24 hours, so it is important to check on the mushroom daily. Button mushrooms are picked when the cap reaches a maximum size. They are individually picked with the upward twist and pull action. Mushrooms have to be picked immediately, otherwise their quality decreases, which will have a negative impact on your profits. It is of utmost importance that mushrooms should be handled with extreme care as they bruise easily. When storing or transporting mushrooms, they have to be kept at low temperatures and relatively high humidity, which means even more specialized equipment than you need to invest in. So that's mushroom farming. I read a small OPEC that said it's quite expensive. It's not as cheap as it might seem or as it might look. Because I know many people who think you just plant your mushrooms and you just harvest them. But I read that it needs lots of specialized skills. And also it requires lots of investment in certain technologies you might not have. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that's my 2 cents in mushroom farming. With that said, just want to say bye for now.